service. Now, live from our studio, here's the evening's program.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to our candidate forum for this Tuesday night here on WGOH, WUGO, also for our TV 14 viewers and online channel at WGOH-WUGO.com. Chamber of Commerce, of course, with Go Radio sponsors these candidate forums each election year. It presents an opportunity for you, the audience, to hear from the candidates, to see them and make your decisions. It's also an opportunity for the candidates to be able to speak to everyone in the county at one time here on the radio and TV. And the purpose, of course, would be for us to submit some questions to them. And you are welcome to submit a question if you wish at 474-5144. And as we have time, we'll take those questions from the audience. So we have rules that we follow, and according to those rules, we'll have 2-minute opening and closing statements from each candidate. And then the questions will be asked and answered alternately as we go through the evening, and each candidate will be given about a minute and a half to respond to those questions. Our candidates tonight are for Carter County Jailer. And refreshing people's memory back to the primary election, R.D. Porter, who's on camera left, is the Democratic candidate for Carter County Jailer, defeating incumbent Randy Binion in the primary race. And on the right, the Republican candidate for Carter County Jailer, R.W. Boggs. Now, by virtue of the toss of the coin, R.W., you have the first opening statement.
Well, I want to thank WGO, the Chamber of Commerce, and everyone that's involved with this. I'm extremely excited to be with the opportunity to become your Carter County Jailer. This is the position in which I feel I can do the most positive impact for the county. A few things about me. I received my bachelor's degree here at Kentucky Christian University in religion and psychology, completed my master's degree in psychology from Morehead State University. I started at 17 years old at the Remy E-Step programs, where I fell in love with criminology and residential programs. At 24, I started my own private facility for juveniles with $14.32 and a load of willpower. At that time, I was told things cannot be done different than they've been done before, and those people were wrong. To make a long story very short, the business was very successful and became a model for such programs as it still is today, based upon my policies and procedures. When you innovate, it sticks. Doing the same failed plan, it's a mistake. Now here again, I'm being told that it cannot be done. Our jail cannot be profitable, people will not get off drugs, and we're doomed to pay a county jail tax. To that, I say they're wrong. There are a handful of jails in Kentucky that are profitable and make a positive impact to their county. However, they are run by successful, hard-driven, business-minded individuals that understands how to bring about positive change. You're going to hear a lot about the SAP drug program, ankle bracelets, work release programs, and inmate gardens. All of these are good ideas and will be part of my plan as well. However, all the ankle bracelets and tomatoes in the world will not ensure our jail's success. These must be a complete shift in the county's approach and attitude towards placing individuals in our county jail. Our judges, county attorney, judge executive, fiscal court members have to be on the same page when it comes to dealing with these issues. This is one of my best assets to bring people together with one purpose: to make our jail a professional, profitable, well-run facility that Carter County can be proud to put its name upon. I've spoken to many voters, and that is what they expect: accountability, professionalism, and nothing less than the successful operation of their jail.
All right, opening statement from R.D. Porter.
Again, I'd like to thank KJ, the Go Radio staff, the Chamber of Commerce for making this event possible tonight. My name is R.D. Porter, and I'm your Democratic candidate for Carter County Jailer. My wife, Donnell, and I have been married for 13 years. We have two beautiful daughters, Carly, age 10, and Casey, age 2. We are of the Christian faith. We attend Oakland Christian Church. I have 18 years of law enforcement experience. I have over 1,000 hours of law enforcement training, corrections training, and emergency preparedness training. Throughout my law enforcement career, I've served in several supervisory positions, from field training officer, sergeant, detective, all the way up to chief of police. While in my tenure of chief of police, I was dealt the responsibility of the day-to-day operations of the department, operating and maintaining a budget and staying within that budget, seeking grant funds to take care of overtime, equipment, manpower, and also in charge of the work shift scheduling to minimize the amount of overtime that was occurred each week by the officers. Also, tonight you're going to hear several of my plans that I have if elected as your jailer. My goal, if elected as your jailer, is to house incarcerated offenders in a manner that protects both the public and the institutional safety. As my opponent has already mentioned this evening, there are several plans I have to implement. I want to update the policies and procedures on how the jail is to be operated and require accountability from employees and inmates for violation of said policies. I want to continue to work hand in hand with Lifeline and implement the SAP program to do our part in the fight against drugs here in Carter County. And yes, I want to grow a garden that's maintained by the inmate labor that produces an adequate amount of vegetables that we may cut down on the cost of food. And yes, I want to implement the Community Inmate Work Program, which provides inmate labor to help keep Carter County beautiful and instill the American work ethic back into the inmates. And finally, the home incarceration program for the nonviolent crimes. This will be used to minimize the overcrowding issues, to further cut costs of food, and also cut costs of the utilities and medical expense.
All right, those are the opening statements from our two candidates. And now we'll go back to R.W. Boggs for the first question. And the question would be, what would be your plan for deputies and staff if you are in charge of the Carter County Jail? A minute and a half for each answer, please.
Okay. Well, you hear all the rumors out there, is Mr. Porter and myself going to come in and we're going to wipe everybody out? Will everybody get fired? Obviously, I think that'd be a mistake on either of our parts. Jobs in Carter County are very hard to come by. I think everybody needs to be given the opportunity to do the job that they've been doing for the past few years. I feel that with the correct training and, help, anything is, achievable. I mean, I want, everybody to work together as a team. We have some problems in the fact that, our jail's been beat up. I mean, through the newspapers and everything else, staff morale's down. I mean, I would like to, help work with everyone to bring morale up. And not only, a staff morale, but we have a community perception problem at this point. I mean, the Carter County Jail should be an asset to our community. I'm very excited to make that happen once again.
Okay, R.D.
Could you repeat the question, please?
What would be your plan if you're elected Carter County Jailer for your deputies and the staff?
The plan for the employees would be to continue their education, allow them to obtain more trainings that would help them better and more adequately do their job in the description of the policies and procedures. I would also like to raise the morale of the department and change the image of the detention center in the eyes of the community. And I want to do that by outworking the inmates. As everyone knows, it's not just the jailer, it's everyone there that has to come together and work together to make anything effective. It's not a one-man show, it's a team work effort.
Okay, and we go back to you, R.D., to answer this question first for us. Of course, as we've already stated, neither of you is the incumbent of the position that you're seeking right now, Carter County Jailer, so you're both new. Stands to reason whoever wins will need Republican and Democrat support, and will, of course, need to kind of start things all over. Do you feel that you can appeal to both parties, or is this in any way a partisan issue?
I don't believe so. I need the support of every voter in Carter County, and I've done my best to get out and see as many people as I possibly can. I've come up with an effective plan that not only that has worked throughout this state of Kentucky, throughout our great nation, and will work here in Carter County if given the opportunity to apply those plans. And my ideal is to work at the detention center. I've often said to people when I'm out campaigning, they want to mix up our names, R.W. and R.D., and I always tell them that the R stands for Republican and the D stands for Democrat, and I'll take both votes.
Okay, very good. R.W., your thoughts on that same question about partisanship?
Well, I'm very excited about it. I mean, I have spoke to a lot of people. It's not a Republican-Democrat thing. I mean, our problem is the manner in which we approach the situation within our county. I mean, I've spoke to several Democrats that says they've not voted for a Republican in 10, 20, even 50 years, and some of them said, I've never voted for a Republican in my entire life, but we're voting for you. And I mean, I appreciate that. People are, taking my message. They understand what I'm trying to say. They enjoy what I'm trying to get done out here. You look at, even with the Boilermakers endorsement. I mean, I'm probably the first Republican, local county guy that has received the Boilermakers endorsement. I appreciate everybody at the 105 that, came out to support me on that. They just recognize a quality candidate when they see it. And people do mix up the names, and I try to tell them that W stands for wonderful, really wonderful.
Really wonderful. Okay, we'll go back to you then, R.W., for the answer of this question first. Specifically, what do you feel in your background qualifies you to be jailer, since neither one of you, of course, have worked in that capacity?
Now, my capacity is very similar to the fact that, I've heard I've only dealt with children. Well, I started from scratch. 2 juvenile programs, and my last program was juvenile adults. We took people up to the age 21. These were, serious offenders. We've had the same issues that, our jail faces, with, things getting smuggled in. We have to deal with, people, if fights would happen to come up or whatever, training staff, making sure that everything's done, in a professional manner. My experience is very relevant to the fact that, I have dealt with budgets in excess of $1 million. I have dealt with, over 75 employees across 3